Hello, today we are going to learn how to draw a city using the two-point perspective, which is a linear perspective method to create the illusion of a three-dimensional space on a two-dimensional surface. So the first step is to locate our horizon line, which is a horizontal line. All the rest of the horizontal lines that we are going to draw in our drawing all end on this horizon line at two separate vanishing points. Every parallel horizontal line also ends on a vanishing point, which is located on the horizon line. We are going to locate our horizon line on the top part of our screen, and this is going to determine that the view of our drawing is from above. The next step is we are going to locate a vanishing point on the left side of the horizon line and another vanishing point on the right side of the horizon line. Where they crisscross touch the horizon line. So now we are going to draw the first crossroads in the city. This is going to be the main crossroads in our city. These lines represent two sides of our crossing streets. Now we are going to draw the other sides of our crossing streets with two more lines which also end at the same vanishing point as the previous lines, as can be seen here in the video. They seem to appear to merge into one line, but in reality they are parallel. So now we are going to draw two sidewalks or footpaths on a side of each crossing street of equal width. As can be seen here, there is a small square created by the crossing of the two footpaths or sidewalks. We draw an extended line through the diagonal of this little square until it touches the horizon line, as can be seen here. This point where it touches the horizon line is going to be our third vanishing point. We are going to use this vanishing point as an important tool for drawing squares in different parts of the city. The next step is to draw the first vertical line of our drawing, which starts at the top corner of the previously drawn small square and goes perpendicular through the horizon line, as can be seen here. This line is going to represent the corner of the main building, which is the building on the corner of the crossroads located in the center of our drawing. So now we are going to draw a horizontal line from our previous line to join the left vanishing point. Where this line is located is going to determine the height of this corner building. The next step is to join this line to the right vanishing point, as can be seen here. If we want to draw the buildings with a square plan view, we are going to do this utilizing the third vanishing point. So now we are going to decide the width of the building by drawing a vertical line to the left. We are going to join the bottom of this vertical line to the right vanishing point, as can be seen here. Where this line intersects the orange diagonal line, we are going to join this intersection with the left vanishing point, as can be seen here, to obtain the fourth corner of the building. Now we are going to join this fourth corner with a vertical line until it cuts the horizontal line, which forms the right side of our building, as can be seen here. To complete the roof of the building, we are going to join the top right corner to the left vanishing point and the top left corner to the right vanishing point. So the next step is we are going to determine the width of the sidewalk or the footpath on the other side of the road. To do this, we are going to use the third vanishing point, as can be seen here, to construct another square which will determine the width of the second footpath or sidewalk. Now we are going to draw another square plan building on the opposite side of the street. To start, we are going to draw a vertical line, as can be seen here, by joining the corner of the square through the horizon line. We are going to determine the height of our second building by drawing a horizontal line from the right vanishing point to intersect our previously drawn vertical line. As can be seen here, this building is slightly lower than our previous building. Now we are going to finish this building by using the same process as the first building. We are going to draw our third building, which is not going to have a square plan. So now we have established the first three buildings of the crossroads. We are going to highlight the outer shell of our buildings using a thicker black line, as can be seen here. As you are going to use a lot of construction lines while doing this drawing by hand, you have to be extra neat and tidy with the main lines and the construction lines so as not to make a mess of your drawing. So I advise you to draw the construction lines using a 3H pencil and the main lines using a H or a HB pencil. So here we continue outlining our buildings. And now the third building. Now we are going to start the third building on the other side of the street. As you can see, the drawing is starting to take a little bit of shape. Following on, we are going to draw the remaining footpaths or sidewalks using the third vanishing point again to form a square which will determine the width of the footpaths like before. We will use the heavy HB pencil to draw these lines as they are going to be main lines. So to continue, we are going to draw the next building, which is going to be set back or recessed from the first building, as can be seen here in the video. The ground floor is going to be wider, and later the second floor is going to be taller and recessed back slightly, as can be seen here in the video. Every time I need to draw a square in the drawing, I use the third vanishing point. In this case, to draw the square tower shaped building on top of the previously drawn ground floor building. And finally, I draw a pyramid shaped roof on top of the tower, as can be seen here. Now we finish off the building by drawing the construction lines with a darker HB pencil to give it a nice outline. I am just drawing these types of buildings as examples of various shapes and sizes, but you should feel free to use your own imagination and invent your own shapes and sizes of buildings once you follow the same rules using the vanishing points. So now we are going to continue drawing the next building, which is going to be aligned with the first building, as can be seen here. We also continue on the other side drawing more buildings of different heights in order to finish off the main block of buildings as a perfect square using the third vanishing point. Following on from that, we continue drawing various buildings of different heights on the left block. Using the same process all the time. Again, you can use your imagination for different heights. So we will continue drawing buildings as far as the horizon line, but getting smaller and smaller and using the same process each time, as can be seen here. Obviously, we have the video speeded up here, not to be wasting time looking at all the different buildings being drawn. And then we are going to remove the secondary construction lines so that we can get a better appreciation of the drawing. So the next step, with a thinner line, we are going to start drawing building details, such as windows, doors, roof terraces, street lighting, zebra crossings, trees, etc. As we can see here, we are going to start drawing the roof terrace, outlining the wall thickness and the internal wall height, as can be seen here. Next, we are going to do the same process with the building on the right hand side, outlining the thickness of the wall and giving it the terrace wall height. So now on the left building, we are going to divide its height into equal parts of whatever size you decide. Every second division will represent a window level on the building, and with equal spacing between the windows. We join all these parallel spacing lines to the right side vanishing point, as can be seen here. So now we are going to start drawing the windows with a vertical line and skipping every second horizontal line, except the last line, which will be a larger shop window front on the ground floor. So these will be the right side of our first windows on this building. So now we are going to pick a width for the first window, and as we draw the other windows to the left, we must make them slightly wider each time to approximately keep the laws of perspective. So every time we move to the left, we make each window slightly wider, as can be seen here. When we finish drawing the vertical lines of the windows, we are going to highlight the top and bottom part of each row of windows, as shown here. Now we erase the lines between each window to clean up the drawing and emphasize each window, as can be seen here. Next, we are going to draw the wall thickness of each window, which will give the building features more of a three-dimensional effect. So, as you may see here, we just give each window a wall thickness around, which looks more three-dimensional. We use the same process for each one. So now we can really see the windows starting to stand out in the building with our larger ground floor windows. Now we are going to draw the windows of the building on the right side of the drawing. To do this, we are going to use the left vanishing point and intersect all the previously drawn red construction lines so that we get the same size windows and story heights, which will give us standardized dimensions for all of the buildings in the drawing. So as you can see, using the left vanishing point, we intersect all the previously drawn lines. And now we draw the windows on the building on the right using exactly the same process as before. And just for variation here, we're going to draw long windows rather than individual small windows before, but the same process. We add in the thickness of the windows to give it a more of a 3D effect. When we start drawing the windows widths, remember to pick a width and then get smaller from the right to the left to approximately keep the laws of perspective. Again, this time working in the opposite way as before. Whereas before we got bigger, this time we're getting smaller. So now we're going to continue finishing drawing the windows in the smaller buildings using the same horizontal spacings as before. Utilizing our two vanishing points, as can be seen here. We are going to continue drawing the features with fewer details the further away from the viewer's eye the buildings get. Next, we are going to clear the construction lines again and see the main drawing more clearly. Now we are going to draw canopies on the ground floor of our central building and also the facades of the other buildings using the same construction lines as before, thus keeping the same perspective effect. So here you can see completing the canopies. Just add a little detail to our canopies, showing the thickness. As you can see, we try to vary the style of the different buildings for a more realistic effect. All the same, using the vanishing points and the horizontal construction lines. So now we're going to speed up the video, continuing the same process, finishing off the details of the different buildings. And again, the further away we go from the viewer, the less detail is necessary. You don't need to give it a 3D effect like we did with the front buildings. So as you can see here, our city is really starting to take shape. So now we again remove the construction lines. And as you can see, most of the facades are completed. The next step is to draw the zebra crossings of the two main avenues. To do this, we must use Thales' theorem, but in perspective, which is slightly different than the normal 2D Thales theorem method. The only difference is that all the division lines go to a vanishing point rather than being parallel in the normal method. So the first step is to draw a red line, as can be seen here, across the main avenue. Now, from the bottom of the red line, we draw a blue line at any angle you choose, and now we are going to divide this blue line into the amount of equal segments that we want on our zebra crossing. In order to find the vanishing point, we must join the last division of the blue line to the top part of the red line and extend this line until it cuts the green horizon line. Where it cuts it, this will be our vanishing point, as can be seen here. So the next step is to join all the previously made divisions on the blue line to this new vanishing point, as can be seen here. Now we are going to draw the other side of the zebra crossing, which is almost as wide as the footpath. And finally, to complete the zebra crossing, we join the two sides, joining the previously obtained divisions with the left vanishing point. Obviously, we only highlight the zebra crossing and not the whole line. So as you can see, we're drawing all of these parallel lines using the left vanishing point. So now we're going to continue. We repeat the process, but this time using the right vanishing point to make our divisions. And we outline our zebra crossing using a darker pencil. And now we complete the last two zebra crossings by extending the previously drawn lines, as can be seen here in the video. And again, highlight them both. So now we are going to add the streetlights. So the first step is to draw a construction line where all the streetlights will be located on. As you can see here, we draw a blue construction line from the left vanishing point on the edge of the footpath, or on the edge of the sidewalk. So now we are going to locate the position of each streetlight on the construction line, and the distance between them will appear shorter as we go towards the left vanishing point. Now we are going to draw the posts of each streetlight in blue, and later we will decorate them more. So now we are going to draw two parallel lines connected to the left vanishing point, which will determine the height of the street lights. We are then going to locate circular lamps between these two parallel lines on the top of each lamppost. These lines continue across the street where we are going to locate two more street lights. So now we are going to continue drawing the street lights on the other street using the same process, except we use the right vanishing point in this case. We are going to use the previously drawn parallel lines to establish the height of the street lights of the second street, as can be seen here. And the next step is to draw the circular lamps at the top of each lamppost. And finally, we are going to draw the lampposts closest to the viewer with a double line, as we can see them better and in more detail. So as you can see, we're just drawing the street lights with double lines, just the closest ones to the viewer's eye. Okay, and we use the same process on the other side of the street. Again, we remove the construction lines to see the drawing more clearly. So to complete the decoration of the footpaths, we are going to locate trees between each street light. First of all, I am going to draw the construction lines, which will determine the height of these trees using the left and the right vanishing points again. And now we will draw another construction line where the base of the trees will be located, as can be seen here. Next, we draw vertical lines to represent the trunk of each tree between each street light. So now we are going to draw two parallel construction lines each side of the previously drawn tree baseline, where we are going to locate the square tree wells. We complete these square tree wells by drawing perpendicular lines each side of the tree base, or the tree bases. We're going to do this by eye, the only criteria being they get smaller the further away from the viewer and the closer to the vanishing points. So the tree wells get slightly smaller as they go towards the vanishing points, as can be seen here, and slightly bigger towards the center of the picture. So now we are going to complete the trees by hand. You can do this using your own particular style. The only reason I draw the trees by hand is to contrast with the rigid geometrical style of the drawing. So finally, we take away the construction lines and we colour the streets with a dark grey and the horizon with a lighter shade of grey. So finally here you have an urban city drawing seen in conical perspective with two vanishing points. You can feel free to use your own imagination, just following these basic laws of proportions and perspective that we have used here to draw the windows or to divide a line into equal parts, as we have done to draw the zebra crossings. I hope you liked the video. Please like the video and feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you. Until the next time. Bye bye.